Ladies and gentlemen, I received the question, what is the ideal movie? What should an ideal movie be? And I thought about it for a few days here was the thought process I went through. I said, well, it's got to have a plot, like Ayn Rand said about a novel. A novel without a plot's not a novel. I thought a movie has to have a plot, but then I immediately said, wait a minute, what about documentaries? And I just was mulling it over a bit for a few days, not thinking too hard on it. But then I realized one day that movies, the movie itself as a thing, is like radio. You can do lots of stuff on radio. You can do talk radio, you can broadcast music. You can't say, what's the ideal radio program? Well, if it were a talk radio program, there'd be no music. For music, there'd be no talk. And if you make it half music and half talk, then you're wasting the people's time who wanted to hear only talk and no music. There's no ideal. There is an ideal, I believe, an ideal for particular art forms. But I don't think that the movie is a particular art form. I think that the movie is, like I say, like a form of media, like the radio. For particular art forms, for example, painting. I think it's in poor taste to paint something that we can get a photograph of. For practice or whatever, fine. Or because you want to try to paint it as a challenge, fine. But I think a really great work of art can't be considered something we can take a picture of. Now that we have the camera. That was different back when they didn't have photography. It used to be the case that making it look realistic was an end in itself. That's all you wanted to do, was make it look as realistic as you could. Now we can get a camera and just take a picture of it, so that's not as fascinating anymore. But I believe that a painting should be a realistic depiction of something we cannot take a picture of with a camera. Like, give me a realistic depiction of the battle at Salamis. I mean, it's not realistic like a picture would be, in the sense that it's something that actually we were there and saw it. But it's realistic as in it's not smudges and smears and drips. It's actual boats clashing on a battle sea or whatever. I think that painting should be used to show us things that we cannot get a picture of. Now, movies, it's a less exact, it's like the radio. You can't say exactly what. You could say, what's an ideal fiction movie, and then it would be pretty similar to a novel. You'd have to have a plot, some hero or antagonist. Not all good books have a good guy. Look at Crime and Punishment. That's a book pretty much without a good guy, unless the police inspector's a good guy or something like that. But you don't have to have a good guy to have a good book. And it's not a great book, it's not romantic and fantastic or whatever, but it's worth reading and reflecting on and philosophically deep, even though there's not a hero. So, I would say you can't really tie down what a movie should be unless particular types of movies. So again, it's just like movie, radio, all kinds of things can be done with it. It's not an art form in itself. The movie is not an art form in itself. The story is, and that requires a plot and characters and, some value problem. So that would apply insofar as you're doing a fiction movie. There you go. That's my opinion on the ideal movie. It can't be done. At least I can't offer it because I'm not a Platonist and I don't really believe in ideals.